Alright, welcome. I'm doing a review on the Cold Steel CS92SF. That's the Cold Steel's version of the Russian Spetsnaz Special Forces shovel. I have actually seen and held one of the original Soviet versions, and the Cold Steel one is of higher quality. The handle's pretty much the same. Medium dense white wood, fir, poplar, ash, maybe white maple. It's not cedar because I did shave this part down just because it was a lot thicker and it stuck out, and when you used it, that part would get pretty chewed up just because it rose up about ½ inch above the surface of the shovel. And this just makes it much more streamlined. It makes using the sheath a lot easier. So the handle overall is 16 inches long. The shovel itself overall is 21 inches long. There's 6-inch cutting edge here, 3.5-inch on both sides. It's 8 inches long overall, 6 inches wide. The distance from the tip to the start of the channel for the handle is 3.5 inches. It's 2.5 inches from the channel for the handle to the side. The edge grind is 1/4 inch wide on both sides, so it's a real shallow angle. So it's, I mean, this thing is shaved sharp right out of the box, and it's a freaking shovel. You could get it even sharper. I don't know why you'd want to. This thing is one mean hatchet already. I was using it earlier today, and it doesn't look that beat up. This paint that they put on here is super thick. It's also really smooth. When I pulled it out of the box, I didn't even want to use it because it was just, I mean, you can see a reflection in it. I mean, that's some damn good paint. It's also very thick. I was whacking this thing around and dug with it, and I mean, there's just scuffs and scratches, but it hasn't gone through the paint yet. I took Sharpie to the edges, that's why they look black. That didn't hold up too well, as you can see, where I was chopping wood with it. It's really rubbed off. I took the Sharpie to it after I dug, by the way, just in case you were wondering. It's got a good balance. It's not too heavy. Let's see if I got how much it weighs on here. No. Say it weighs maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds at the most, even including the sheath. It's got a good balance to it. It doesn't feel heavy when you're holding it out in your outstretched arms. It swings really well. If you choke up, you can do some pretty fine work with it. It's a great hatchet. It's a great shovel. You could use it as a freaking paddle on a boat in an emergency. Just an all-around tool. I did also stain the wood black because I didn't want white. I also wrapped the handle in white bat tape or hockey stick tape, and then some Mignet camo foam on it just to give it the camo, obviously, and it also improves the grip a little bit. The lacquer finish on it was pretty slippery when it was wet or when your hands were sweating and when you're going to be working. That's inevitable. So this really does help, and it makes it look pretty cool. And yeah, that's important, right? Oh, let's see here. Am I missing anything? Oh, set screws. There are 2 pretty beefy set screws that hold the handle in place. It goes about halfway into the handle, so not too far, not too shallow. I'd say they're 3/4 inch long. Number 4 Phillips. Good, high quality metal. There's a weld here, which is unusual. A lot of shovels just have that curled around, and that's good enough. But no, Cold Steel welded it. Decent weld. I mean, you can see where it's kind of sinking in there, but I'm not worried about it. You can go onto the Cold Steel website and watch a guy throw this thing, and it buries itself up to here in a stump of wood. So, I mean, this thing is an all-purpose tool. You can dig with it, you can cut with it, you can chop with it, you can fight with it, you can do anything you can with a knife except for eat your dinner with this thing. And all for 20 bucks. I mean, the sheath didn't come with it when I bought it. It wasn't an option to come with it. The sheath is $10. It's a pretty good quality. The inside of it, can't really. I'm gonna try to grab a flashlight here. No, that doesn't help any. The inside of the sheath has plastic, so the sharp edges don't tear up the sheath. It's riveted together by 6 rivets. There's a belt loop at the top. It's 2 inches wide, so it might not fit on your thicker belts. There's this lashing loop here that's 4.5 inches long, so you could definitely stick it to your pack or whatever. The shovel goes in one way easier than it does the other way, and that is with the concaved edge of the shovel towards the back. So when you have it on you, it goes on like that, and it contours kind of like a flask to your leg, and it makes it a lot more comfortable, even if you're wearing it like on your back, on the back. So all in all, I'd say Cold Steel did a pretty good job. I would have preferred like fiberglass or something for the handle, but I'm gonna look around and see how similar axe handles and stuff like that are. The ones I've seen so far all they're directional. Like, you would have a kink going one way. So, I don't know, you might just have to stick with the original one they got. But with the magnet form wrap and the hockey stick tape, it really gives it a positive grip. I love this magnet stuff. I mean, you can see it here on my SOG, there on my other SOG. That stuff's great. I mean, when it sticks to itself, it doesn't leave any residue. It improves grip, it adds padding. If it wears out, just take it off, or it'll fall off, whatever. You can use it to keep a bandage on if you had to. It's just great stuff. But I'm getting off on a tangent that has nothing to do with what I'm reviewing. The steel is 100 thousandths thick. They call it medium carbon steel. So it's probably 1055, 1095, something like that. Mid-high 50s Rockwell, 57, 58. Maybe as low as 55. I would say it wouldn't be as high as 60. I would say 55 to 58, somewhere in there. The edges held up pretty well. I've done some serious hacking on 2x4s and branches and stuff, and since it's just the mass of the head, it makes quick work of branches that would take a minute or two to go through with a knife. So, even though it is kind of heavy for carrying it around, it definitely makes up for the weight with versatility. I mean, you do not need a hatchet or an axe with this thing. It has the weight, it has the edge. You could dull one edge out, keep the other one real sharp, and use one side as an axe and use the other side as a weapon. And this thing throws like a dream, like you can see on the Cold Steel site. I haven't thrown it myself yet. I'm kind of itching to, but all in all, it's a great product. I wish the sheath came with it, and I don't know why the sheath costs half of what the shovel does, but hey, whatever, right? Am I missing anything here? No, I think that's about it. If you got any questions, post it up. I'll try to get to you pretty soon. This was $17.95 from Knife Center, I think it was, and I got this off of eBay for $7, $8 or whatever, plus shipping, obviously. So, Not a bad deal for a machete, hatchet, knife, shovel, paddle, back scratcher. It works like that. These little hooks scratch your back. Found that out a while ago. It's just a hell of a multi-purpose tool that is an asset. So, if you go camping, you might think about getting one of those. Alright, thanks for tuning in. I'll be reviewing SOG Field Team Elite 7-inch blade and the SOG Dagger 2. So, keep an eye out for those. Alright, thanks for watching.